to anyone who's watching this. My name is Emily Inman, and I am a UVU Public Relations student, and I am on track to graduate next month, December of 2016. So the first question is, why did I choose to attend UVU? And I am from Southern California, about an hour north of San Diego, and right when I graduated college, I immediately knew that I eventually wanted to end up in Utah. Just a good atmosphere, a positive place to live. So I did a couple years of community college in California and then transferred to UVU, and I've been here for about 2.5 years. And a huge reason why I chose UVU, I did a little bit of research before I decided where I was going to go to school, and I researched the communications department, and it really seemed like the comm department at UVU was thriving, so I chose to attend UVU, and I really wanted to be in Utah County, kind of heavily populated college town, so I was really excited to attend, and I've been loving it. So the second question is, why did I choose to study public relations? And like I mentioned in the previous question, I did go to community college for 2 years in California, did all of my generals to kind of figure out what I wanted to do and what I wanted to get my degree in. And I knew I really liked political science and I really liked art history. I did have a lot of different interests, but I ultimately wanted to get a good job at the end of my 4-year degree, not just something that I kind of liked. So my mom helped me. We researched some degrees that were increasing rapidly, and the need for comm students and the need for communication college graduates is really increasing since the number of jobs is increasing as well. And just based on my personal strengths and weaknesses as a person, I just thought that the public relations route would suit me best. I'm not the most extremely outgoing, and PR definitely allows you to still kind of be in the excitement and be kind of in the know, but you don't necessarily always, depending on the job you have, you don't necessarily always have to be front and center in the show, in the spotlight. So I just thought that that would suit me best just based on my personal strengths and weaknesses. I just Googled a ton of different majors, and this is the one that I decided to go with, and I'm very glad I did. So the next question is, how did your understanding of public relations change or develop during your studies at UVU? And this question is huge because my personal opinions of PR were so much different than I thought they were. When someone says, hey, I'm majoring in communications, it doesn't sound, I hate to say it, but it doesn't sound all that difficult. Everyone's like, oh, well, what do you actually do? And that's kind of what I thought too. Like I've done some researching, but I always kind of thought, what am I actually gonna do? And after coming to UVU and taking so many classes, obviously in PR, I learned that there are so many different routes that you can take PR, so many different needs for it in so many different areas of the job world. So overall for this question, I would say that my overall understanding of PR blew my mind from where it started when I began at UVU. There are so many more details and so many minor things that normal people don't realize goes into PR, but now I realize that there are so many different things that make a successful PR professional successful. So the next question is, how would you describe your education as a PR student? And for this question, I would say that my education as a PR student has definitely exceeded my expectations. Since UVU is considered like BYU's sister school, unfortunately, I really hope one day that changes, but since that is kind of the case as of right now, just since the schools are so close, so let's just say that my education as a PR student really exceeded my expectations. I feel like since UVU has that stigma currently, I really feel like UVU, and especially the comm department, has really exceeded everyone's expectations, and they are going above and beyond always to try to exceed everyone's expectations of UVU. Since it is open enrollment, people do tend to have their opinions about that, but I really feel like the comm department just really tries to go above and beyond to make sure that we are getting the best education possible, and I really think that we are. So I'm very glad that I did decide to attend UVU, especially for that reason. So the next question is, what was your greatest accomplishment as a UVU student? And I do have a couple answers for this. Really quickly, one of them was the Wolverine PR firm, where it was a class held Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we were in groups of 4 or 5, and we worked with a real client and did a real campaign, a real project, all of them were kind of different, but mine personally was an event, and it was great experience for me. I got to put on an event with 4 or 5 other UVU PR students, and we had about 400 or 500 people show up at our event, and it was such a success, and it was such a great learning experience for me. And the other thing that I think was my biggest accomplishment as a UVU PR student is I just got a job. So I'll talk about that in a couple questions below, but I am very excited about that. Next question is, what are your recommendations to students who are just starting to study PR? So a couple of recommendations that I have to those students is it's not as easy as it sounds. You're still going to have so many hours and hours of homework. It is very hard work, but it is very rewarding at the end. And another recommendation is take all of the opportunities that the comm department offers. There are so many great leadership opportunities, resume opportunities that they give. Not everyone decides to utilize them, which is fine, to each their own, but I would definitely say to use them if you can. If you have the extra time to do an extra project or go on an extra PRSSA trip or be part of the PRSSA board or anything like that. I just think everything is such great experience and that you can put on your resume, and that will in return hopefully result in a job after graduation. So I would just say take any opportunity that you can to be involved. That is something. So the last question is, what do you plan to do with your degree after graduation? And I actually recently found out a couple weeks ago that I did get a full-time big girl job, as I like to call it. So I start training 2 weeks before school ends, so right in the middle of finals and all that fun stuff. But so basically right when school ends that first Monday, I am full-time salaried big girl job. So I'm very excited. It is a company called Bonsai. It's here in Provo. UVU is in Orem, but it's in Provo, that's where I live. And it's about 4 minutes from my house, which is awesome. And they supply financial literacy programs for middle school and high schoolers. So it's a really small team. There's only about 20 people who work for Bonsai, and they only have one PR person, which is me, which is really intimidating. So once I start, I kind of, go full force. I just kind of have to utilize everything that I learned at UVU, which I'm really excited about. It's going to be a huge learning opportunity for me, a huge resume builder also. And also, I recently started a YouTube channel. So one of the many things that the communications department has taught me is that social media and the PR world, it is always, always changing. And there's always room for growth and room for opportunities. So I really decided to take the leap and start my own YouTube channel. So if you want to check out my channel, please do so. It is my first and last name, Emily Inman. So those are my plans after graduation. Big girl, full-time job, and also the start of my YouTube. So there you have it. That is all. Thanks for watching. Bye.